Hey everyone, thanks for joining the video that I'll be doing on Cardano. Haven't done a video on Cardano in a long time. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I did a Cardano video, so I want to take a look at a couple things. I did a Fibonacci video last week, and it was mainly for educational purposes. And so what I'm planning on doing today is kind of talking through something here and kind of showing another way that you can use Fibonacci. So I'm going to be showing that to you guys, and hopefully this helps. And if any of my videos do help you, I appreciate likes, subscribe, share, all that. And if you do want to be part of our free to use Discord, just throw in a comment in the YouTube chat, and I'll get an invite code out to you. Of course, as you can see on the disclaimer on your screen, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor, and you're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research. I'm giving my opinion on the market here, and I'd like to go ahead and take a look at some things here. I'm going to go ahead and move over to the chart. All right, first things first. I'm looking at the weekly chart on Cardano, and I'm going to kind of zoom out here and take a look at what happened right after Cardano was listed on Binance. All right, so first things first, we definitely had a dominant pivot up here. We had a dominant pivot down here. So we had a dominant pivot at 87.88. That was our high. We had a dominant pivot down here at 1670. Actually, it looks like it was actually at 1666. And we had a retrace back to the 382. We didn't even make it to the 50 or the 618. Major sign of weakness there. Based on this fib pull from the top down here to the bottom, and of course our retrace rejection, what we can see here is that our target is going to be 434 Satoshis. So we see that, and we have to recognize that when we get a rejection on this, especially at the 382, like we had here at 4,000, we're going to be looking for a move down here to our algo target, and again, that is at 434 Satoshis. So that's what we're using this fib pull for. So basically acknowledging that this is at the beginning of a correction. So we have basically either an A, B, and work down to a C, or we've got a W, X, working our way down to a Y, so on and so forth. But one way or another, we are definitely working on a correction here. And then let's just take a look and see what ended up happening. I'm going to get rid of all of that extra stuff up there at the top because we don't want to pay too much attention to it. I want to pay attention to this trough that we have here. So what I'm basically thinking that we have here is a WX, and then we've got this Y down here, and then we have this X, and then we come down to our algo target, which our algo target, as we mentioned, was 434. That's our algo target. And it was, kind of expected that we extend down a little bit below. We didn't really break 400, for more than a day or two. So here we are again. We've got our algo target, which has hit at 434, and now we're sitting here at 597. So we're up a significant amount. I wouldn't be interested in buying any Cardano yet, unless we can close the week above 575. If this week closes above 575, I think that is probably a good sign here. Now Cardano has historically been a support and resistance token. So we'll take a look at this and just kind of point this out. So right here at this level, we can definitely see that we had support here, and then we fell through and it became resistance. Right here, this has been support here. It was support here until it broke through, and then it was resistance. All right, naturally, next area that we're going to pay attention to, and actually I'm going to make this just a little bit different so that it's easier to see, because once we pass through, some of our support and resistance levels, and I'm going to try and get these as clean as possible here. Once we get through some of these support and resistance levels, and I'm going to see this one as a pretty significant support and resistance level. So that was resistance, became support. We fell through it, but we bounced back up, and then it was support here, and then it was resistance. So I'm going to pay attention to that one. Next one I'm going to be paying attention to is this wick right here where we first opened on Binance. That's going to be at 1,800. So that was the high on the opening week in Binance at 1,800 Satoshis. That was the support when we had our major pivot down here. We tried to get support again, but we fell through. And we're looking at a weekly time frame, so every one of these candles is an entire week of trading. When we pushed back up into it, it was resistance. We tried to push through and we got rejected. So that was definite resistance there as well, again at 1,800 Satoshis. Now, where I am interested in paying attention to, also compared to the week that we opened up here on Binance, this level right here at 900. 900 is right where it opened. 900 was, support from the get-go. We did extend below, but we, of course, were in our bull market. We had a major explosion to the upside. And that was also when we came down. I'm going to go ahead and kind of expand this out a little bit. So again, so it's a little clearer now that we know some of the history. But right here at 900 Satoshis, this was our support again at 900. We bounced up. We had a rejection there at 1,800, which again was the high on the week that we opened up in Binance. And now we came back down. That was support again, and then we fell through. Okay, so our history lesson here is on support and resistance. Okay, so as we can see, Cardano has historically been a very strong support and resistance coin. Now, I do believe, again, if we close this week above 575, very good chance that we do go to 900. Now, can we go higher than that? Of course we can. Of course we can go higher than that. But I would say that that's going to be our first area that we're going to get rejected, okay? As we can see from our history, these resistance lines are pretty strong and they're honored. So whatever was previously support now becomes resistance. And I'm expecting that 100% to be the case here. So if you take a trade on Cardano, I would sell that sucker at 900 and wait to see what happens. Okay. We were talking on the Discord earlier today. Somebody said they made 7% on Cardano and they were upset because Cardano's up 15% this week. Cardano's up 7% last week, and Cardano was up 4% the week before that. But they only made 7%. It's okay. It's all right. You made money. No big deal. What you do is you take your profit and you wait for the next play because there's always going to be a play out there to be made. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. But again, I was also saying this on Bitcoin earlier today. I sold my Bitcoin and now I'm just waiting because yeah, it can go up higher, but yeah, it can get rejected right now, blocking in my profit, and I maintain my US dollar balance, and now I'm just going to wait for the next play. All right. So, on a weekly time frame, this is actually looking pretty good. And we have this support level right here, again, at 560 to 570. This level is looking like it is going to, it's going to break through. Again, going back to what I was mentioning before, I want to see this close above 570, 575. Okay, so 575 is right here, and that's like in this cluster of all of these candles, right? So we've got support, 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 boom, we broke through. All right, so now we're seeing, front run of resistance, front run of resistance, and now we've pushed through this level at 575. So I'm very interested in Cardano seeing more move to the upside here in the future, in the coming weeks. This isn't going to happen overnight. This isn't 2017 anymore. This is going to take time. There's going to have to be a lot of churning going on here, but a very good chance that we do see a move up to 900. I'm going to put my P&L right here at 575, and I'm going to say that a move up to 900 is probably in the cards. There is a chance it goes higher than that, just for the record. There is a chance it does go higher than this. And as far as the stop loss goes, my stop loss I would put basically at the bottom of where we opened this week. Okay, so at the bottom of where we opened this week is where I'm expecting to go. You're looking at a 56% profit on this trade, but you're also looking at a potential 9% loss. So it's basically 6-to-1 odds. I'm not a real big fan of buying on a big green candle like this. It's a 15% candle this week. I'm not a real big fan of buying that. So I want to wait for this to come back and retest this as support. So prior resistance should now become support. Okay, so we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. All right, so we've got our push through here, we fell. Then we push through and now we're pushing higher. And again, I want to see this come back, and it probably will come back maybe to 560. Because again, that's going to be on this cluster right here where we have lots of support from 550 to 560. So this is probably where I'm going to be looking for there to be a bounce. So you got to give yourself a little bit of room, and I would say this cluster right here is where I'm going to be interested in watching, because it probably will come down here. I wouldn't set your bids there at 575. I'm just simply saying I want to see this hold above 575. Likely this will come back down into this range where you probably will be able to pick up a pretty good trade. And if you do that, just for the record, if you are able to get a trade down here, then your stop loss is not as severe. Okay, so your stop loss, I'm still looking at stopping down here in this range. So you're only looking at about a 4.5% loss. And now you're also looking at, of course, that move to 900. Let me make sure that this is still showing up to 900. It's not. Let me pull that up. Now we're looking at about a 65% gain. That's assuming you can pick up a trade at 545 Satoshis. I think it's probably one of the better setups that I've seen for a while. Excuse me. But that's what I'm looking at on Cardano right now. I'm still saying a pullback to about 550. We got to reclaim this as support. But this is, again, this is the trade that you have to take. If you're in here to make money, you've got to risk a little. And I wouldn't buy up here because more than likely it is going to come back down. But I would be interested at 545, 550, somewhere in this range. And then taking a stop loss, somewhere in the low 500s, maybe 510 to 520. That range. If it gets down there, then we'll sort of reevaluate, but this is the trade setup that I see on Cardano right now. Of course, we know Bitcoin has been doing very well, and Cardano has been going up in the days that Bitcoin has been going up. So these are all really good signs. It's a sign of strength for an alt to be going up at the same time Bitcoin is going up as well. So I would be willing to bet that the Cardano versus Tether trading pair has been doing better than Bitcoin over the last 2-3 weeks. So that's what I've got on Cardano. I actually talked about Cardano a lot longer than I expected to, but if this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, I do appreciate liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. If you have any questions, I'm always in the Discord. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, a good evening, and a good night.